She said she needs space, and your gut is screaming to fix it. But if you respond the wrong way, right now, you'll push her further away. And maybe for good. Let's talk about the 3 silent mistakes that end relationships fast and what to do instead. If your wife or girlfriend said, "I need space," it probably hit you like a freight train. 1 minute you're building a life together, making plans, sharing laughs, figuring out the kids' schedules. The next minute, she's distant, quiet, cold. She says, "I just need space." But what you hear is, "I'm done with you." I get it, man. I've coached hundreds of men through this exact moment. And here's what most guys miss. The part that actually matters most. How you handle this next stage is everything. Most men make 1, 2 mistakes. They either go into panic mode, texting, calling, apologizing for things they don't even understand, or they swing the other way, shutting down emotionally, thinking, "Fine, you want space? I'll give you space." Neither one of those work. And look, I'm not here to tell you to beg, disappear, or become a emotionless alpha robot who talks like a podcast clip. What this moment really calls for is leadership. Not over her, not control, but leadership over yourself. Your mindset, your energy, your ability to respond, not react. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're flying a plane, mid-flight, turbulence hits. Your co-pilot, your wife, is panicking. What she's looking for in that moment isn't a checklist or a fixes or a guy who also panics. What she's looking for is the man who calmly grabs the yoke and says, "I've got this." That's leadership. And most guys, they abandon the cockpit the moment she says she's unsure. Not because they're weak, but because no one ever taught them how to navigate emotional turbulence. That's why today we're diving into the 3 common traps that cause even smart, high-performing men to lose the relationship without realizing they're even in danger. So, if you're in the thick of this and you're tired of guessing, if you've done walking on eggshells and want a real plan, click the link below to speak with me one-on-one. Sometimes one honest conversation is the turning point. All right, so let's break this down. Think of your relationship like a house you've been building, okay? You've been hammering, painting, planning, and suddenly she steps back and says, "I don't know if I want to live here anymore." But do you abandon the house? Do you chase her with blueprints in hand? Or do you quietly walk the foundation, check the cracks, and begin the real repair work? Mistake number 1 is probably the most common, and it's the one the internet loves to promote. Just give her space, bro. Sounds noble, right? Mature, respectful. But here's the truth. Most men misinterpret that advice and disappear completely and wait. They go into full ghost mode. No calls, no check-ins, no visible growth, just hoping she'll eventually miss them and come back. Look, when a woman says she needs space, what she really needs is relief from the emotional tension, from the patterns that feel stuck, from the pressure she's been silently carrying for months. What she doesn't need is for you to vanish. That doesn't feel like respect to her. It feels like abandonment. So let me give you an example. A client I worked with, let's call him Matt, his wife said those 4 words, "I just need space." So Matt, being the respectful guy he is, said, "Okay." He packed a bag, got an Airbnb, and went dark. No texts, no calls. He figured she'll reach out when she's ready. 3 weeks later, she said, "I think we should get a divorce." Why? Because his silence confirmed her worst fear, that he wasn't emotionally present, that he didn't care enough to stay engaged, that space actually meant disconnection. So, what do you do instead? You create intentional space, not passive silence, not begging, not chasing, but intentional leadership. That means you acknowledge the tension. You say something like, I know things feel heavy right now. I don't want to go back to how it was either. So you set healthy boundaries. I'm going to respect your need for space, but I also want to make sure I'm not leaving things unsaid or misread. Then you let her know what you're working on. I'm using this time to work on some things I've ignored for too long, mentally, emotionally, even physically. Then you invite her in without pressure. When you're ready to talk, I'd love to share what I've been learning about myself and what I now understand about us. That one line right there it opens a door, not a wall. Here's a line that works so well because it's balanced leadership with care. Say something like, I understand you need some space right now. I'm using this time to do some deeper work on myself. When you're ready to talk, I'd love to share what I've been learning. Not to fix anything, but to show you who I'm becoming. It's calm, grounded, and it's real. It gives her space without creating distance. That's the difference. Think of your relationship like a garden, right? If things have gone dry, pulling all the way out and leaving the soil unattended doesn't bring it back to life. It actually starves it. What it needs is consistent tending, not hovering, not flooding, but watering the roots, quietly, intentionally, patiently. If you're standing at a distance, holding a watering can and saying, I'm still here. I'm learning how to do this better. And I'd love to rebuild when you're ready. That's leadership. So don't vanish. Don't smother. Lead through presence, not pressure. Mistake number 2 is one I know very well because I've made it myself. It's the urge to talk it out. You've probably said one of these before. Can we just talk about this? I don't understand what you're feeling. Please help me. I've changed. Can't you see that? And hey, your heart might be in the right place, but when she's emotionally flooded, your words don't feel like love. They feel like pressure. It's like trying to put out a fire with a fire hose full of words. It just knocks everything over. See, here's what no one teaches us men. Logic doesn't move emotion. You could make a great case for why she shouldn't be upset. You could explain your growth step by step. You could cry, you can plead, and she'll still feel like you don't get it. I remember trying this in my own marriage, and things were tense, real tense. And I thought, okay, we just need more connection. That'll build connection. So I asked questions. I explained myself. I said things like, can we just sit down and talk? Tell me how I can fix this. But to her, it felt like an interrogation. It wasn't making her feel heard. It was making her feel like she was on trial. So what actually worked? Consistent, visible, nonverbal leadership. Not long texts, not pleading, not the perfect analogy, but showing up grounded, taking care of my health, being present with my kids, following through on small commitments, handling the little things she didn't even ask for, getting my energy calm, not for show, but for me, and doing all of this without needing her to notice. That's what builds emotional safety. And safety is the only thing that reopens the door to connection. Think of her emotions like a storm. That's when the wind is howling and the rain is slamming sideways. You don't run outside and try to argue with the clouds. You build a shelter. You stay grounded. And when the storm calms, she'll see who is steady through it. That's what she's testing, whether you're stable under pressure, not just sweet when things are easy. So next time you feel the urge to just talk it out, don't. Don't shut down. Don't overtalk. Lead quietly. Be calm. Let her feel your strength before she hears your explanation. Here's a better approach that you can say. Say something like, I understand that things feel too heavy to talk through right now. I'm focusing on showing up in ways that speak louder than words. And I trust we'll talk when the time is right. That's respect. That's leadership. That's how you turn the tide. Mistake number 3, one that kills attraction faster than silence or over talking is going full nice guy mode. Probably knew this was coming. You know what I mean, okay? Apologizing for things she didn't even bring up, over-explaining every move you make, writing emotional texts or pouring your heart out into her DMs, buying flowers, sending poems, booking fancy dinners, saying I love you more to hear it back than to actually mean it. Now listen, none of those things are bad on their own. It's not about what you're doing, it's about why you're doing it. When a woman pulls away, smothering her with sweetness doesn't rebuild trust. It deepens her doubt. Because instead of feeling safe, she feels pressured. Instead of seeing leadership, she sees a man chasing, proving, pleading. I had a client, we'll call him Chris. His wife told him she needed space. So Chris started texting her every day. Just checking on you. Hope you're okay. He meant well, but to her, it felt like noise. Eventually, she snapped. Stop texting me. You're not listening. He wasn't being mean. He wasn't unsafe. He was just unattractive. Because he was trying to earn her love back instead of becoming a man she could respect again. So what changed? He stopped chasing. He stopped trying to convince her he was worthy. He pulled back, not in anger, not in manipulation, but in calm, clear boundaries. He said, I hear you. I'm using this time to get solid again. I'm not disappearing, but I'm not going to keep pressing either. I'll be here if you want to talk. And then he focused on him, showing up for his kids, rebuilding his routines, getting around other strong men. And slowly, she started reaching out. Because women aren't looking for a people pleaser, especially not when things feel uncertain. She's not testing how sweet you are. She's testing how stable you are, how decisive you are, how secure you are in yourself when things are messy. And she's not giving you the validation you're used to. Think of it like this. Imagine she's lost at sea, hanging onto a busted lifeboat. You don't swim out to her, panicking, screaming, please let me help you. That only drags both of you down. You stay calm, you anchor to the rescue boat, and when she's ready, she swims towards you. Because you didn't add to her chaos, you represented safety. That's what the nice guy forgets. So here's your job. Stop trying to win her back. Start becoming the kind of man you respect when no one's watching. Be kind, be present, but don't be needy. That shift from, do you still love me? To, I love who I'm becoming. That's magnetic. And here's something that you can say if you feel the urge to reach out. All you have to say is, I care about you deeply and I understand this space matters to you. I'm focusing right now on becoming a man I'm proud of. No pressure to respond. I just wanted you to know. Say it once, then leave it. She'll feel the difference. Okay, so let's recap. Remember, don't disappear and hope she misses you. Don't pressure her to talk it out. Don't play the nice guy to win her back. Instead, what I want you to do is create intentional space, build internal stability, lead quietly through visible action. And if she says she needs space, hear what she means, not what she says. Look, this moment doesn't have to break your relationship, but how you respond now will shape everything. If you want help building a game plan with zero fluff and real clarity, book a free clarity call with me below. Links in the description. Spots fill up fast, so don't wait. Now, hit the like button if this hit home. Subscribe for more real strategies that actually work, not fluffy relationships fluff. You've got this, and we've got you. See you later.